Well, for more, we're joined by the former Turkish Ambassador to Qatar, Mithat Rende. Thanks so much for coming in. Several countries have actually come and gone from OPEC's ranks in the past. Qatar's now the latest, but it's also the first Middle Eastern country, as far as I know, to have left OPEC. But given it is one of the smaller players, how much leverage does Qatar even have?
Well, it's a small player with 600,000 barrels per day, but this decision has some political consequences, and it's of political nature, in my view.
That is. It's more of a symbolic move.
It is. It's more than a symbolic. It's an important decision at this point in time because of the volatility in the prices, the oil prices. We have witnessed many ups and downs in the oil prices, starting from the summer of 2014. It was like about $110, and then it went down in 6 months to $50. Then it went up again, and then went down to $30. And then following the G20 summit, it went up again with a decision by the US and China to postpone the tariffs. And now with the decision of Qatar, it will go up again. And I think it's a blow to the future of OPEC, in my view. I'm not that optimistic, although it's a small player. It might unravel OPEC, and it's good maybe for the consumers.
Could it go that far, to actually unravel?
Well, other countries might just follow the decision of Qatar, because many countries are a bit tired of the situation within OPEC, because Saudi Arabia is dictating the conditions and the prices, and they don't feel easy about it. So they would like to have a word, a saying. And also it's good for the market, because the United States also would like to reduce the influence and the power of OPEC in setting oil prices.
So that is a possibility here. This could be the first, as you're saying, in a chain, possibly, of the unraveling of the entire organization.
Not the entire, but
the power, really, of OPEC.
The power, it's very important. See, Qatar is a major natural gas player.
Yeah.
And they spent over $150 billion to build an integrated structure, starting from the offshore, from the gas produced in the North Field, to the LNG tankers, and then regasification. So they have a huge industry.
Right.
And in fact, about a year ago, also more than a year ago, the former oil minister, Salah al-Sada, stated in Tokyo, in one of the energy conferences in Tokyo, that they decided to put an end to the unilateral this decision on their part, the moratorium, to develop the North oil field. And then they said, okay, now we are number one. We sell 31% of the gas, liquefied natural gas. We would like to take it to 110 million tons per annum. It was a huge decision, and it frightened also many other producers. Okay,
and then as you were saying, I mean, this is a move with serious political implications.
Yes, I believe
And
so.
let's look at the blockade, actually, on Qatar. It really hasn't eased. Are these the types of steps, then, we can expect Qatar to more strategically take in order to really fight back against Saudi's power?
Well, I think the Qataris, I'm sure they consulted with other major players before they took such a decision. I'm sure they had consulted their friends, and we can consider it as a move to probably reduce the power of the Saudis, and maybe in the long run to put an end to the blockade, because they suffered from the blockade. They learned to live with it, but still it's really damaging also the economy of the Emirates and Abu Dhabi and Dubai, especially Dubai, which is based totally on trade, tourism, and services.
Yeah.
And it's also suffering, and I think other Gulf countries are not happy about the situation. So probably it's a strategic act, a strategic move to balance the blockade. And also, maybe we should keep in mind that also now we have the climate change conference in Poland, and everybody is talking about, like, non-fossil fuels, the future. What is the future? So there's a huge challenge. There's a huge challenge, a global challenge, and it should be addressed globally. And in this context, the global economy is decarbonizing gradually. And then what we have is natural gas to accompany renewables. So
Okay.
natural gas is the fuel of the future for the
Right.
next maybe 5 decades. It will have to be together with renewables and fossil fuels.
And Qatar is the biggest exporter in the world.
And
of
Qatar
that
is the
gas.
biggest export.
Okay, Ambassador, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.